Hi, I'm Adrian Branch, former pro athlete turned motivational speaker and certified life coach, and welcome to The Climb, a show where we celebrate the stories of resilient people sharing how they turned adversity into success. From the business sector to athletes and beyond, be inspired and learn what it takes to climb. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Adrian Branch here, and welcome to another episode of The Climb. I'm your host, and this show is all about resilience and celebrating people's story about how they overcome. What's their mindset? What's their procedures? We want you to come away from this show saying, hey, if they can do it, I can do it too. If they can overcome, I can overcome as well. And that's why we're bringing you the best guest in the business that you can identify with their story. Well, this one young lady that's coming on is just precious. You're going to be wowed by her story. She has so many wisdom nuggets. She has so much experience. Celebrated athlete. Her name is Ruthie Bolton. She's been a two-time Olympic gold medalist in basketball. She's a mom. She's an author. She's a humanitarian. She tries to live out the 66 books of the Bible in her own words by loving people and loving others. And she has a unique story, and I can't wait for you guys to hear her story and how she's overcome and how she is a champion for people. So, Ruthie, good morning, good day, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to the show.
Man, I'm excited. Hey, man, good morning. Well, I'm on the West Coast. I'm in the in the LA area right now, but I'm excited to be on here. I know we've been talking about this for a couple of months, and it's so exciting to be be on the same team with you, man. We're on the same team right here. Pass me the ball when I'm open, baby.
Well, I'm so excited. I want to jump right into it because there's so many touch points for our listeners to identify with. Yes, you've been a celebrated athlete. Yes, you never lost in college or so with 199 wins and only 13 losses at Auburn University. But I want to jump right into it and take us back a little bit. You've got a unique family. Everybody doesn't have a Ruthie Bolton family. Tell us about the start in McLain, Mississippi.
Yes, I have a very modest family size. I'm a 16 of 20 children.
Whoa.
So I'm really thankful that my mom and dad didn't stop at 15 because I would have been left out.
Oh, okay.
The Holy Spirit spoke to them, said, be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. So I'm a 16. My brother is 17. I have a twin brother.
Okay.
And my dad was a minister. And we grew up in a very strict home. It was a dime, you call a dime, a penny, a penny. There was no gray area wonder. It was like, my dad was very consistent as a father, and my mom was just loving. She can look at you, Adrian, she look at you and say, Adrian, I think you lacking vitamin C. But you need vitamin C. Look at you. It's just like, having 20 children, she knew when a baby cried was just for you to pick them up or if they was really hurting. She was like, they just want to be picked up, leave them alone. And then hear another cry, say, you know what? Yeah, they're hurting somewhere. So my mom was an expertise in the children bearing babies. And what's so unique is that her sister lived about 5 miles away. They had 18 in their family. So our basketball team, our starting five was our first and second cousin, baby. And we didn't play the radio. We didn't play the radio. Our whole team was related except for two. So we had a squad from a real small B school. But the foundation that my mom and dad gave us, man, survival skills, man, I'll be outside playing. And if somebody hit me or if I go in there crying, Junebug hit me, guess what? It's like the black hole. You ain't going back out. Apparently, you can't handle it. So you get in here and go and wash dishes and go and sweep the floor while you in here. So listen, when I got hurt or something happened, I learned how, I just lick my wounds and keep it moving because I ain't going inside. I love being outside. So it's just a lot of different principles that I learned growing up in a big home.
Let me ask you this one. And I thought I knew you. All of a sudden, there's 18 more. I didn't even know about that one. But I want to take our story to when you were 14. And you said that was a profound moment because I wrote in my notes, was the start of the resilient Ruthie. So tell us about when you were 14 years old and it triggered something inside of you.
Yes. Like I said, I was a tomboy. I loved being outdoors. And I was quiet though. I didn't really say a lot. This is what I was told. I was quiet. I always really observed, but I love being active. I love jumping and climbing. So we used to jump fences. And listen, I would miss a meal. Listen, I would stay outside all night and jump fences and climb trees. That's just the kind of person I was. And so this one particular day, as we started jumping fences as our little sport for the day, I got ready to jump this one particular fence called the chicken fence. And as I'm running, I'm just excited. I get to the fence, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can do this. So I looked at it, I'm like, okay. And I walked backwards. I said, I got this. And I ran to the fence, and it's like it got even higher. And so everybody was just jumping easy by me. And I'm thinking, like, what is wrong with me? What is going on? I said, you got to shake it off, relax. I got this. I got this. I proceeded to jump the fence again, and it even got higher. So I'm really freaking out. I'm really getting like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I could see them leaving me. And they waved at me like, come on, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll pretend you jumped it. Just come on. I'm like, no, I can do it. So I pondered with that fence, AB, for about 10 minutes. And all of a sudden, the street light came on. I don't know if you know anything about it, but when the street light came on, we had 5 minutes to be in the house. 5. And my dad didn't play. So I remember I didn't want to go inside. I was willing to risk getting a spanking. They were like, you better come on, you're going to get in trouble. And they said, you could do it tomorrow. I'm like, I don't want to wait tomorrow. I want to do it today. So I remember just going inside and just feeling so distraught, feeling like, man, I got to do it. Like I pondered, I processed it. And I remember the next morning, matter of fact, before it got day good, I remember walking out the house, walking over people laying on the floor sleeping. I'm walking out. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I cannot start my day without a victory. I cannot start my day. I remember going outside. I'm like, okay, I think I got this. I think I got you. You got it. I'm talking to myself. I'm self-talking. I'm talking to myself. You got this. Took a deep breath. And you got it. You've done it before. You've done it before. Just believe it. You got to see it. So I remember I took a deep breath and I started running. I put everything in that run, everything in that jump, everything that I learned, coming off the right foot, using my core, springing up. And I remember getting to that fence, AB, and I jumped, I leaped, and my body started to twist, but I landed over. I think I landed on my side. And I'm looking up like, wow, I'm over the fence. Like, oh my goodness. I'm celebrating on the ground. I'm not on my feet. It was not a perfect landing, but I'm on my feet and I'm so victorious. I'm so like, oh my God, I did it. And when I share this message with kids on this story, I said, wow, that's so important. Jumping a fence. As a matter of fact, it wasn't peer pressure to jump it because they told me, don't worry about it. But I wanted to do it. It was something inside of me that would not let me say no, would not let me walk away. And I remember thinking, I said, man, I did it. And the way I was able to do this, so I started seeing myself on the other side of that fence. I started seeing myself on the other side of that fear. And so when I share that message with kids and with adults, whomever, I said, in order for me to have jumped that, I had to see myself on the other side. And that's when I started celebrating. I started celebrating in advance. I know I got this. I know I got this. And you know what, AB? I believe that's the day I started becoming a world champion. That's the day I started becoming a WNBA All-Star. That's the day I started becoming an Olympian. It's that within at that inside, I just felt that like, you know what, I don't want any excuse. I got to do it. And when I did it, the victory, it just pushed me forward. The mindset, because fear just had me handcuffed, choked around the neck. I was just like, what is wrong with me? Like, and I could have easily said, you know what, no big deal. But I do believe without a doubt. And when I share with kids, I said, now don't go out and do something that's going to get you injured. I said, but I had done this before, but for some reason that particular day, and God is interesting. Like, he got a sense of humor. Like, he engineered this thing. I feel like he was pruning me in that moment for a season. It's like my shirt says "Sent with Purpose," which is a book I just finished. He was pruning me for that moment, for my journey. I couldn't worry about Juma to the left or a Ciola to the right. He was pruning me for that moment. He would prune me then for a moment such as these and such as my career unfolded. So when I think about that, I was like, wow, God, you took that little bit of tangible, little Mississippi girl with a bad Jerry curl, ashy ankles, ashy elbows, just a hot mess. And listen, I look more like a boy than my twin brother did, but he took me. And the significant thing is, AB, I allowed this. Like I was still young. I'm saved, but I'm still young in the ministry. I don't know hardly what's going on. I just know this little Mississippi girl wanted to get on that fence. And when that victory came, listen, I never look back. I know.
Go. No, and you never look back, and finish that point. You never look back.
Never look, because I was so, there's a saying, you can't argue with results.
Whoa.
I don't care how hard it is. You can't argue with results. When you get to a point where it's like, okay, I see. They'd be like math. I wasn't that great in math. My son was not, but I had it. I had to study harder in math. But the formula of success and three things that was that a spiritual moment? I believe so. Was it a physical moment? Yes, it was. And something my father would say often, AB, he said, if you take a life with you a few principles, you won't need a suitcase full of rules.
Wow, say that again.
If you take in life with you just a few principles, you won't need a suitcase full of rules. What are those principles? Your faith. What are your faith? You faith in something. Okay, who you are. You got faith in something. It could be your car, it could be your house, it could be whatever. But you got faith in something. But that's your faith. Attitude. Attitude is your mindset. It's how you approach every day. It's your disposition. It's your it's your disposition, it's your intuition. Okay. And then character is the choices that you make. And that was a big one because we know from sports world, borrow their slogan, that we're not born winner or loser, we're born choosers. So we get to choose, AB, we get to choose. And that's a part that's so hard. Like, how do I choose? Do I go left or right, or do I just stay? So in your seasons, understanding what's important at that time, and you might can't see why it's important, but it's like right now, trust in the process. I had to trust the process of me. And that space right there and that experience changed my life forever.
Yes. Wow. You know what? I told the listeners that they were going to be in for a treat. And you said so much that fence at 14 was a lightning rod moment where you dug down deep. And I wrote in my notes, the resilient Ruthie was born. And you said that was before all the other accolades, but you never quit. And it was a mindset. Then you talked about your dad. I wanted to celebrate your dad, gave you another nugget. Tell us that story when you had to get on the bus and you did not want to take that 10-hour ride. And that was a defining moment as well.
Man, listen, there's something my father would say, experience is your greatest teacher. When you can learn, we learn from everything around us. We learn from people's stories. But when you go through it, it becomes tattooed in your heart, in your mind, your soul. It becomes, listen, it doesn't matter. Nobody can tell my story like I tell it. Some people tell, but it's like coming from. So when I think about from that fence propelled me, that fence story propelled me, and it got me ready for that bus ride. I tell that, listen, I've spoken so much, so much. I can't tell my story hardly without telling it. Listen, if they give me, hey, you got 3 minutes to speak, or sometimes I have those 3-minute speeches, I have those 5, 10 minutes. It's like, to me, it's almost, it's hard to tell the story without that component because it shapes, it defines me. And it really, it's a place of, it came out of a place of fear. I know it's fear. We're not supposed to have a spirit of fear, but I think there's a good fear. I think there's a good, like we supposed to figure. I think there's a good thing, like a good scare. I was
That could
scared, but
spur you on.
scared straight, scared forward. Like this a good scare. And I'm sitting there like, Lord, like I'm a good girl. Like I don't got one spanking in my life. Like I was obedient. Listen, I ate green vegetables sometimes even when I didn't like them.
Yeah, you said you never got sick. Even trying to play hooky from church, you never got sick.
Trying to do everything the right way. I'm like, Lord, hey, can I get rewarded? Oh, what is going on? Like, why? And I have to fight for everything. Why is this so hard? Why is this making it so hard for me? I'm thinking like, oh my goodness. I'm like, what did I mess up? But when I didn't get recruited, and I run into coaches all the time that didn't recruit me anyway, but I just like, I didn't get into letters and the phone calls, and I'm sitting by the phone waiting on the mail like nothing. Like, I'm like, what is going on? I'm just sitting here like, oh my goodness. You know, the dejection, the frustration, my faith, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't trying to make a story sound great, but my faith wavered. I started to say, Lord, what is this? What if I've done things the right way? And I felt like I have faith, but I feel like it rewarding me right now. And I remember my father was my anchor. He was my mentor. He said, listen, he said, I know you feeling some kind of way. He said, but people perspective and what people don't do, that's on them. And don't even get mad. I'm like, seriously? He said, guess what? If a door closed, get through a window. If a door closed, get through a window. Now, what is that window? That window, hey, it's an opportunity. So that door closed, no one recruited me. Literally, no one wanted me. But that window was that I had the ability, I had the decision. I could get on the phone and call Auburn and say, I got a phone call off in the old phone back in the day. Say, what about me? Can I come on a school visit? Can y'all take a peek at me? And they said, well, we didn't call you because we were just as a staff, we thought about it and we just felt like you were not the caliber player you are not the caliber player your sister is, and we just don't think you would ever make the travel team. We just don't think you that talented player, but we could, if you want to come, we could talk about it. But you would have to ride a bus, and this bus ride will take about 10 hours. And I know we flew your sister on a private jet, but we just don't have the budget to fly you. And I'm thinking, man, this going from bad to worse. I'm like, could you just like hold up for a second? I'm thinking like, you know what? Well, I guess basketball wasn't meant to be because I ain't riding no bus. That's what I'm like. I'm using all bad English and everything. I ain't riding no bus. Forget all that. And I remember saying, hey, daughter. And that's why he called me most of the time because he couldn't remember my name with it being 12 girls. He said, listen, you can sit there with an attitude all you want. He said, what is that quote that I have on every door in the house? Every door in
Attitude.
the home. Life is 10% what happens to you, 9% how you respond to it. Okay, say it again. Life is 10% what happens to you, but 9% how you respond to it. I'm thinking like, okay, what they got to do it now? The only thing I'm feeling is I'm feeling a sense of rejection. I'm feeling like I don't matter. I'm feeling like, how's that guy something would do with this? He said, your attitude, how you approach this. He said, I'm telling you, you got this. You're built for this. He said, your sister got a more natural talent. Yeah, it shows. It's more transparent. Yours, you got to dig a little deeper. You got to go through more hurdles, but it's there. He said, I know it is. Nothing. I said, Dad, but he said, you'll never know if you don't go. He said, get on this bus. This could be the most important ride you ever take. I said, okay. And I trusted my dad. I said, you know, Dad, I feel like he was just telling me that initially, maybe to make me feel good. I said, well, I felt a little bit of sense of hope because my dad believed in me. He said, get on that bus and go. He said, you're going to Auburn, you're going to prove them wrong. He said, but at the end of the day, you get a free education because they had promised a scholarship for both of my sisters. So in hindsight, it was sort of a, he said, you'll get a free education. He said, I don't care if you don't make one basket. He said, get there, go to school, do well in school, get your education. So that's okay. So I get on that bus, AB, and I go. And a lot of times students ask me, when you scared, when you feel, I said, I was so scared. I doubted every moment. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why? Like, why? How many more ways can this coach tell me that I suck? Like, why are you sabotaging yourself? But then I just like, you know what? I got this. My dad believes in me. I'm so self-talking the whole way. Matter of fact,
Yeah, I believe in self-talk. I'm big on self-talk. So you're saying self-talk as you're going. I like that one.
it's he was like, hey, listen, they can call you crazy. What self-talking? What you're doing? You're labeling things. You looking at the pantry. Okay, let me put this over here. Let me put this over here. It's like, okay, self-talking, like so. But I'm still like feeling like, okay, I don't. As I start to try to figure out AB what the outcome is. What if I get there and the coach don't want me? Or what if I get there, all this create more anxiety? Anxiety, like I can't control that right now. I focus on the journey right now what I can control. AB, I was so overwhelmed that when we stopped at the 5-hour mark, we supposed to gotten off to get food. I didn't even get food. I didn't even get off. I was just like stoic, like, I ain't missing this bus. I'm like, no, I'm staying here. I'm like, I'm excited in the journey, but I'm excited to get there. And I'm embracing, I'm trying to think of every scenario in my head, And I get there and I'm so hungry. My stomach growling. The coaches pick me up. They take me to the house and they feed me this. My coach was Italian, so they feed me this food. I'm talking about eating. Listen, AB, I'm eating like this. They were like, man, slow down. It's more where that come from. They said, why you got your hand like this? I said, because when I eat at home, people be taking things off your plate when you're in the family of 20. You turn your hand this way, they take your food and take it that way. Like, Ma, who ate my drumstick? I don't know. She said, keep your eyes on your food. When we grew up, you eat your food now and you taste it later. It's military style. So anyway, I eat and I'm just, and the eating made me feel better. And I'm thinking like, you know what? I feel like something good gonna happen though. So afterwards, the coach called me in the back, and this is important right here, B. I'm sitting down, just like I'm sitting down, like I sat in front of the coach. And he come back, and I always tell him, like, he had this strong smell, this scent, some kind of cologne he wears. He's never told me what it is. It's like, it's so strong. He said, I can't tell him. He said, I can't tell anybody. It's my secret. So anyway, I sit in there, and I'm thinking like, okay, all right, so just let me know what I got to do. Like, I'm just ready. I'm ready for this journey. And I sit there, he paused for a second. He just shakes his head. Okay, and I'm thinking like, oh, this don't look right. And he tells me, he said, man, he said, I hope you enjoyed your meal. He said, we just, we just don't think there's a place for you guys. We don't, it just, we thought about it and it'd be very discouraging for your sister to see you go through this. You just not the player your sister is. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there just frustrated. I'm sitting there mad to where I don't even know how to articulate it. He said, I know what we promised your parents and we will honor the scholarship, but give us about a week to find another school that may want you. And I'm sitting there, I had no words. I'm speechless. And I'm speechless. I'm mad at myself for getting on that bus to go. I'm mad at God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for the ambush. Thank you for setting me up. I'm mad. So when I get back, they drive me back home. At ABS, they drive me home. And I tell this a lot when I speak to little kids. I say, I was a snack. I love snack. I was a cookie monster. Listen, I could find a cookie I could find a cookie on the floor and eat it if it been there for 20 minutes. Don't matter. I'm like, I ain't throw any cookies away. I didn't even want their cookies. They tried to feed me. I didn't want their food. I didn't want nothing. I just wanted to get home. And I wanted to hear what my dad had to say, my mentor. I want him to bring some relief. I want him to give me guidance. And so I get home, and the first thing he asked me, he said, what did they say? I said, Dad, they say I'm not good enough. And I just broke down crying. And he said, okay, so what are the options? I said, they said that I can, they said they're going to look for a school for a week. So that's okay. You got to sit here and wait. He said, you'll be fine. He said, it's okay to hurt. That means you care. He said, but he said, God got you. He said, you did not spare that car accident for nothing. He said, that car, I told you about the car accident, didn't I?
No.
I was still in high school. This happened like a month prior, 6 weeks prior. We were headed to church, and I was a daddy's girl, bad hair, Erica, bad Jerry curl, and my mom didn't want me to go, just a mess. My dad said, leave her alone. God don't care about all that. And I'm sitting in the car just happy. I go to church, and I just love being around my dad. And my sister was in the front. And about 10 minutes from the house. Matter of fact, less about 5-6 minutes. As we got ready to make this left turn, I saw this 18-wheel coming. And I'm like, Dad, go, go. And it get closer and closer. And as it got closer, it was trying to keep from hitting us and swerve this way. Apparently, it hit the back of the car. The car spun around about 2 or 3 times. That's what I was told. My door came off. I was thrown out of the car about 10, 12 feet. When they came to a stop, my dad, they was facing the road and facing back this way versus this way. They looked, and my sister, she screamed because she had a daughter like 2 years old at the time. She said, my baby. And my dad said, Ruthie. He's like, oh my goodness. My dad said, when he saw I was gone, they looked for me. And he said that he never really questioned God, but that moment he just said, God, I'd rather you had taken me. They didn't know where I was. They thought the 18-wheeler kept going and never stopped. But they found me in a ditch, and my head was laying right on the Bible.
Whoa.
And yeah, and
wow.
matter of fact, a deacon would head to church with my dad. He stopped, and they stopped, and they looked. They was. It took they called the helicopter. The ambulance. The helicopter came and got me. It took them 45 minutes to get there, and they helicoptered me to the hospital. And but a lot of people thought my dad had put the Bible in the ditch. But anyway, I go to the hospital. You think they did all the tests? I spent one night in the hospital. All the checked me. Everything was good, and they let me go the next day. So my dad brought that up. He said, listen, some people don't need to survive something like that, to not just survive but not get seriously injured. I literally, he said, God didn't do all that for just to throw it away. He said, he got a plan for your life. Is it basketball? I don't know. He said, but this is an opportunity. You have to embrace it. You have to go. Don't worry about what's going to happen down there. He said, embrace it. And I go and I said, Dad, he said, but you're going to be fine. So he said, he didn't do all this for me. He got a plan for your life. I don't know what it is. So my dad for 2 or 3 years, he was like, daughter, stand up. And I was quiet, shy. I didn't like, my dad, he was like, even in college, my dad, like, they said my twin took all my words. Like, I didn't like her saying, I was just like mute. I would sit there and just look. But I was a leader. I did a lot, but I didn't speak a lot. And so he said, God got something for her. He said, I don't know what it is, but you don't survive a car accident like that. God give you a lease on life for if you don't have a plan for your life. So anyway, so I get on that bus and I go to Auburn, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
This coach playing the coach that I would play my junior year. I started my freshman year, and I always ask kids, when do you think I started playing? I give them the shorter version. Um, most of them say junior, some say senior. I said I started my freshman year. They were like, what? Like they could like started at an SEC Division I school and like with a bad Jerry curl, a bad style, but a good attitude.
Let me ask you this one, Ruthie. It is so, and I'm gonna try to get a few more before we close down because it's profound. The
We
car
need
accident.
part two, man. We just gotta get a part two. You know you can't. We just gotta
Part
get
two,
a
we're
part
gonna double it up. We're gonna double it up with this one. Motivational speaker. Oh my goodness. So watch this. You could have been mad at God. Reverend Linwood could have been mad at God with that car accident, and you felt like you didn't get the same respect of your celebrated sister. I want to move ahead in the story for a second and say, after a celebrated career with the Sacramento Monarchs, you're the first person to have your jersey retired. You're in the WNBA, so in the early stages, one of the first all-stars of that prestigious league, fourth all-time in three-pointers made. But then I want to talk about betrayal and forgiveness because the equivalent, and for the listeners out there, for Ruthie's accomplishments, you would have to drag it out of her, but that's the equivalent of what Kobe Bryant was to the Lakers. She was a standard fixture like Kobe was, like Derek Jeter to the Yankees. But then they cut you. So imagine Derek Jeter getting cut. Imagine the great Kobe Bryant getting cut. Well, Ruthie got cut from her beloved Monarchs, and you're frankly talking about the anger and how you had to forgive them. Tell us about that one in forgiveness, because there's some listeners that has to dance that dance.
It sounds good, forgive your enemies or forgive. That sounds cute when you hear it, but when you literally have to live it, and I always say, I'm a forgiver, whatever when I talk, but it doesn't. Listen, after that experience, and knowing I did not do anything wrong, that I feel like they took me for granted. I feel like how they handled it was so wrong.
And they won the championship that year without you.
Yes,
Yes. Okay.
they won it without me. I was working with the team, but before how they released me, there was not any type of. I feel like my loyalty meant nothing. And I feel like because of the person, I'm not a confrontational person, that they took my kindness for a weakness and just felt like, oh, okay, it doesn't matter what you've done. We're just going to cut you. Instead of just having a real grown up conversation with me, say, you know what? If we would like to go in a different direction, can this last year be your last year? But we'll make it great for the fan. We'll let to the league saying you're going to retire. You're going to retire this year. They did every other I would say franchise player like that, these different teams, like their retirement. I feel like they overlooked that. And I feel like I said, Lord, I was mad and I was disappointed. And I was really just like, man, and I had resentment. But I just had to forgive because I said, Lord, I know you brought me this far for a reason. I know it wasn't man trying to tell me no at every junction, but you got you. I knew my purpose then. I knew in my church I sent with purpose. I knew my purpose, but it's hard to still walk in your purpose. It's hard to forgive, and I had to learn how to forgive. But you know what? Through that pain, it birthed my curriculum, Mighty Aim High. I had to aim higher than my circumstance. I aim higher than the fear, than the resentment, than the bitterness. Because bitterness, uh, it's like adversity make you bitter or better. And I had to choose, it would make me better. With tears in my eyes, every day that I was over there, this same coach that pretend I never did nothing in the game. People were livid. People were so upset. I prayed about it. I said, Lord, I hope you see it. I hope you see it. I said, but I would not, I would still trust you. I won't, I would not abandon our relationship. I would not abandon our relationship. I believe you still got purpose in my life. But I had to reminisce a little bit over my life. And I had to reminisce over my life and just say, Lord, you brought me this far for a reason. I will still trust you. I'm still yours. I'm sold out to you. And it wasn't easy though. But with tears in my eyes, I said, I gotta be able to forgive. And that's when I started to work on my journal about dealing with anger, aiming higher, knowing the accountability of what God has given me. Luke 12:48 said, to whom much is given, much is required. I said, Lord, this is you. You've allowed me to be here for a reason. So when I reminisce over my life, the car accident, almost not playing basketball at all, like literally this close until you paved the way. Like we created a partnership. I said, so I'm still in this. It wasn't easy. I'm still in this, but it was tough, but learning how to let go and let God. It's easy to say it, but to really do it, to live it, and I did, and that's what freed me. Because when you don't forgive, you become a prisoner of your own emotions. You think you're doing it to them, but it's you. It clips your wings, and you can't not just fly soar. So for me to forgive them, I was able to really still walk in my purpose, and He would navigate it for me. And really, to be honest, all of that going through that experience of rejection, God was still pruning me. It wasn't like sometimes we go through things differently. Maybe like you got the little mountains. Maybe my mountain was higher than someone else. I'm like, look at that, they mountains over there. Why am I going through this? And so God proves that maybe my obstacle course, if you will, was a little bit more challenging because He was building me for a purpose as now. So learning how to forgive, really,
I'm
really.
loving that. Man, Ruthie, I'm wow. I really want to sit here and start tearing up a little bit, but I'm like, let me keep my cool because it's like, man, you are on fire. Let me ask you again, it's leading into that. What's that church? Because you're an author of 6 books now. What's that latest book? You got the advertisement right there. Let's see that one. Sent with a Purpose. What is that one about?
This came from, listen, it has birthed really the last 4 years. And you and I have talked at times. I feel like I don't, I feel like my mindset and my focus in my career, like how, listen, I told him, I said, I'm so focused, I don't play. When this coach told me, and I want everybody to get to this audience, whether you in sports or whether you in business or whatever you in, trust is huge. When this coach named why everybody made this team, the Olympic team, uh, she named Lisa Leslie, your size and your scoring ability. Lisa Leslie was amazing, one of the best teammates. Katrina McLain, your rebounder. Teresa Edwards, your leadership. Dawn Staley, your playmaking ability. Katie, your shooting. Nikki McCray, rest in peace, your defense. She named everybody. When she got, I'm like, what is she going to say about me? She finally get to me and she just say, you know what? I told the committee that I'm not going to leave the country without Ruthie.
Mm.
And she said, because I can trust her in my foxhole.
Mm.
It's such a strong military statement. It is almost like saying, you got accountability, you got focus, you got commitment. We can't win without you. Like I don't even want to try to even go on this battlefield without a player like you. I was like, so that created a sense of, I'll say a sense of accountability. It like she could trust me. So I feel like that's what pushed me so playing so hard. That's why I gave everything I had, because she said I can trust you. And she believed in me. She partnered with me there. It wasn't easy, but I feel like the same thing in my life now. God, He's given me all of this, allowed me to go through some of the tough challenges, but I'm still here. And I said, Lord, I want to be just as dedicated in my walk with you, in my purpose with you. I don't want to just go through the flow. I don't want to just be like a person on the team, be like, oh, I'm just on the team, wearing a uniform, but am I being fruitful? When the coach called my name, oh, do I go in and make a difference? Or do I just, I'm so busy looking at the Raptors and worried about, oh, why I'm not playing and I'm not becoming a student of the game and I'm not helping the team. So I'm getting pushed further down the bench. I'm not being fruitful. I'm looking at the bench and the coach said, you know how the coach looked down, like, and they just
and look past you. They're trying to look past you.
Uh-huh. Like I don't trust you. The coach said, I don't trust you. Really, I don't trust to bring you in the game. Why? But I want the coach to trust me. That's why I worked so hard. When we would get workouts, AB, we would have to do like 6 400s. Maybe sometimes 4 200s, 5 100. Run it. This is on our rest time away from the team. And people like, jump rope 5 minutes. I did everything. They always tell me, girl, you just way too under. My teammate got on to me like, you did. I did everything because I said, I want her to still trust me. I feel like if I don't do something, she gonna see and tell, she gonna be able to tell I didn't do something. So I was bought in. So now in this part of my life, set with purpose, I said, Lord, I'm all in. I'm saying yes to the journey. I want to be what you want me to be. I want to be everything that you created me for. From the little Mississippi girl that had a bad shot and a bad Jerry curl. The bad shot and a bad Jerry curl. I want to be all you want me to be. So I want you to be able to trust me with this platform you've given me. I do. And so that's where this book comes from. I'm sent with purpose. Luke 12:48, too much is given, much is required. Acts 20:24 talks about, Lord, I'm not my own self. My gifts, like I said, I can't pat myself on the back too hard. I even brought my little gold medal right here. I
Yes.
can't pat myself on the
Yes.
back too hard. I want to say, I am yours. Stand on that podium. I stood on that podium actually 11 different times, 10 different times for different, like, they only really highlight mainly the Olympics, but you up there for the World Championship, you up there for the Goodwill Games, all these different tournaments, all these different games I won.
60 and 0. You guys were 60 and 0.
6-0. Like, for me to stand on that platform, and I reminisce on my life and how I end up on this space, like, I would be crazy, AB, to think I just did it on my own. And so when I tell kids, I say, yeah, I had a little bit of talent, but I had this grit and I had this commitment to just embrace the opportunity. So now in my life, sent with purpose. I said, Lord, you sent me with purpose. I'm in this with purpose. And in my season, the subtopic is understanding my call to the season of my life. Right now, season in life is summer. It's summer, hot, obviously,
Winter,
fall,
spring, and
winter, spring,
fall. Uh-huh.
different things. It's like, what are you doing in that season in your life? Sometimes your season spiritually could be a wilderness. Sometimes you're like, Lord, I don't know. We get so caught up. I don't get so caught up in what I'm supposed to be doing. I said, Lord, how can I grow now? What fruits am I bearing now? And so that's the main thing I think we could call up. I want to be. I want to be this, or sometimes we get caught up in the past of what I didn't do. Take a deep breath, exhale. I said, Lord, okay, I'm in Mississippi. I didn't think I would be in Mississippi for 4 or 5 years. And sometimes I got caught up. I said, Lord, I want to be productive. I don't want to just be busy. I want to be fruitful. And so I said, okay, it's a season that I'm here for a reason. So how can I be the best version of Ruthie? How can I be bold, be minded, be the best version of myself so that I can be better for my kids? I can be better for just plant seeds to be a light. And so that's what I want to be. Maybe I want to be like a good meal. I'm sure your wife, her favorite meal. What's the favorite meal your wife cooks? And before you walk in the house, before you even see her, you can smell the aroma of the meal. You can smell the aroma of the meal that she's cooking. It may be pork chops. It may be baked chicken. It may be fried chicken. You smell it before you start to anticipate the taste. Like, oh man, that's so good, man. The biscuits. You smell it, the aroma that you start. And that's how I want my life to be, the aroma of Jesus in my life. I want
Wonderful. Wonderful. Wonderful.
anticipate, like, I want to be like, what do you
Man.
have? Like, I like how you deal with adversity. And I
Yes.
heard that when that happens in my life, AB, I feel like I said, wow, that's to me, I feel like that's a 3-point play right there. That's a 3-point play.
Nice form.
When
Let me jump in right here, Ruthie, and let the listeners catch this for a second. My goodness. I'm going to ask you one more question to encourage them, but what I want our listeners to know what was said. At 14 years old, the resilient Ruthie was born because it was a can-do spirit. Having to get on that bus ride where your dad was like, daughter, because of so many of you guys that called you daughter, and said, get on this thing. This will help change your life. You had tremendous success playing with your sister at Auburn, and then your pro career, and you had to forgive people, and you didn't let it get the best of you. And then now the next season of your life, I want to bring it up here and ask you this one. It's a real simple question before we let you out of here. And yes, we're going to have to do this again, my teammate. Ruthie, how can you encourage our listeners to keep climbing?
Yes, keep climbing, man. And you know what's interesting you say that. I don't know if I ever told you this about climbing a hill. I love running hills. And listen, it's something about that gravity. I think it's that winning mentality in my life. It's that competitive spirit. When I climb a hill, I lean. Listen, gravity trying to say, you don't belong here. Gravity don't want me up there. And I look at it as my enemy trying to keep me down. And I'm running this bad boy. It get tough. But when I lean in and put my core in it, I got this. So that when you climbing a hill of life, in that struggle, in that disappointment, in that anxiety, Lord, is this meant for me? I'm telling you, lean in. Let your core lead in, that core of who you are. Because at the moment you think you're the weakest, that is your strongest. Your breakthrough is so close. Your breakthrough is right there. I know because I've lived it. I know what it feels like. I wanted to quit so many times, and I would climb the hill, but I found a way. There's a saying, like, I don't know if it's a verse, I don't know if it's a song. Lord, don't give me strength to climb, but don't move the mountain, but give me strength to climb. Like, I wanna feel the resistance because that's what I feel like what make me strong. It's hard to me to run. I love the resistance would run up a hill. Seriously. I know it may be crazy. I even run upstairs at a hotel. Like I love to feel the resistance of something trying to hold me down where I feel like that's my strongest. When resistance trying to hit me, I'm like, okay, what you trying to hold me back? I'm like, no, you gotta bring it stronger. And the stronger they come, the stronger I get, baby. The stronger you bring it, the stronger I get. So I will encourage you, the listeners, partner with you. Take a deep breath and just for one, if you got a breath and you got a heartbeat, God has given you another lease on life. This is the day. Say, Lord, today it's like you've allowed me to see another day, another moment. So with this, I want to be what you want me to be. And how do I do that? And so you understand, you don't get so caught up in too far down the road. It's like, how can I be bold, be mighty, be the best version of me? Take that little something. I took that little bit of gift that God gave me. I'm talking about little bit, and got on that bus, confused, scared as all get out. And God just enlarged my territory. I get that. Even my coach, I talked to him yesterday, the day before yesterday. And he just like, wow. He wrote my book, The Ride of a Lifetime. Well, he wrote the foreword. He said, you taught us what faith, resilience is. He said, wow. So I just would encourage you, do not let fear keep you handcuffed. Lean into it. So what? You fall flat on your face. But don't live a life of, I wonder, what if I don't make it? But what if you do? What if I don't make that shot? But what if you do make that shot? Like, it's March Madness right now. You know I love March Madness. And I'm starting to see some amazing games already. What if I don't make that shot? But what if you do make that shot? It's about right now. If the X and O's, they could throw them out the window right now. It is about that grit, that tenacity, that resilience. Say, you know what? We are not, it's 5 minutes left in the game. I don't care. We down by 10, but we are not walking out here without a win. That's your mentality. You better huddle, get your huddle with yourself. You better look in the mirror and you just say, oh, hey, listen, AB, you know I got to do it. It's game time, baby. You get in that huddle of life and say, you know what? I got this. I'm going to focus on what I can control. Me,
Oh,
with your faith, and say, I got this. It's game time. I'm telling you, when you talk yourself that self-talk and you can flex too. Come on, AB, flex.
don't like the show.
I kept mine in the holster. But AB, I'm telling you, hey, listen to you all guys. Listen, you listening. This is your season to be the best version of you. Don't give up. Don't give up. But trust the process of who you are.
Beautiful.
Partner with
Beautiful.
God.
Wow. Ruthie, man, I really have tears in my eyes. You are inspiring me. I'm so humble. Where can the listeners follow you on social media if they want to know more about the mighty Ruthie?
Well, I have a little website. I think it's the mighty, I think that's themightyruthie.com. The mightyruthie.com is my website where a couple of my books, I don't have all my books yet on there because anyway, they're not all there. But my social media is just my name, Ruthie Bolton, and then Mighty Ruthie Bolton on my social media. So if you go to my social media, my Instagram, and say that you were listening to this show, and if you want a book, I'll send you a book and I'll send you a little extra gift with it.
My
If you
goodness. My
Instagram, but
goodness.
to you, AB, you can always, if somebody reach out, you can always send them my information.
My,
You can send my I do Facebook too. I know a lot of people don't do Facebook anymore, but I do Facebook. You can leave me a message, Ruthie Bolton, and it just and then they always send them to you if they want to or whatever. If they want a book or whatever. But I'm excited, AB. I love this show. You awesome, man. You know what? I keep forgetting you did work for ESPN, didn't you? You still do?
a little bit, a little hanging, all the hanging.
I love it, Flo. I love how
Thank you,
I'm
Ruthie.
great. Thank you. You took. I feel like you create a storyboard for the audience.
Wow.
We went on a
I'm
journey,
humble.
man.
Yes, I'm telling you, I've been wiping like the side of my eyes. So we appreciate you. Listen, folks, I told you were going to be in for a treat. Ruthie, thank you for hanging. Thank you for being our teammate, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again.
I gotta leave him with this. I know we about to run out of time, but I leave him with this. My heart says yes. My heart says yes to your ways, and you are welcome in. You welcome in this place. Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I love you, oh my. And you are welcome in. You welcome in this place. So I had to just give you a little bit of that. Say yes to the
Keep
journey. Say
singing.
yes to the purpose. And I'm
Wow.
telling you, your best is yet to come.
Thank
Your
you.
best is yet to come. Game time.
Thank you, Ruthie. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Ruthie Bolton, folks, sincere, genuine, my goodness, blown away. And listen, if you want to know more about us, head on over to adrianbranchspeaks.com. Follow us on social media at Adrian Branch Speaks. And this show, The Climb, follow that wherever podcasts are available. You guys are amazing. We got guests like Ruthie coming up again. And again, for my listeners, be encouraged and keep climbing. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.